So at this point, we've created some nice wide images, what we're calling a mural. And so what we want to do is bring this into Adobe Premiere Pro and add some motion to it. And so here's the picture once it's been imported into Adobe Premiere Pro. And we're going to bring this down onto the timeline. And by default, it's setting it up at 5 seconds. And so I'll go ahead and expand that and zoom in a little bit. So the challenge is that we have a really wide image. Our height is our standard 530 or 480, so it fits the screen fine. But it's only showing this particular section. Where are we? Right here. Abel and Irene, and we want to see the whole picture. So what we're going to do essentially is make a movie out of this wide image. I think this one's about 3,000 pixels wide. And so what we've got to do is add some horizontal motion. Now, as far as the speed of the image goes, is going to be dependent upon how long or the duration of this particular image. So right now, if I right-click on there and look at the speed, 5 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and set that to 20 seconds. 20 and no frames. So now we've got a 20-second image. And I'll go ahead and put this right there. It started at 0. So the first step is very similar to what we did in motion a few months ago. If you reviewed that particular video on how to add motion, I believe at that time what we did is just zoomed in and changed the scale of the image. But now we want to actually move across the image. So we'll come up to Effects Controls and drop down our motion triangle, and we are going to be concerned with position, X and Y. And so the first step is to go to our first frame of the image, which is right there, and toggle on the animation, which you will see inserts a keyframe right there, that diamond, right at the beginning. So what we need to do then is to define where we want this image to begin. And so we do that by moving horizontally. And so I'm going to go ahead and move left to right on this one. It doesn't have to be that way. You can move right to left if you want, but I'm going to start right. Oh, there's the beginning of it. And I'm just using my mouse to move through. And we'll go ahead and start that image right there. And then the next step is to go to your last frame and then add a keyframe. And if I move this a little bit, you can barely see that keyframe is hiding right there. And so then I need to define that location. So now I'll go the other way. And I'm scrolling pretty slowly, just so the computer can keep up. And we'll get to the last portion of that. And there's Cameron, and that's where we want to stop. Right there. And then we come and take a look at it and see if we like the result. And so there you go, and you can see that we are moving left to right horizontally by how we defined our keyframes, start and end. So to review, we want to keep in mind that the speed that we are moving is dependent upon the duration of this image. So it's taking 20 seconds to go through the entire image. And so you can estimate how long you want the image to be on there based on how long you want a particular individual to be on the screen. So here, if we're at 20 seconds and we have a total of 5 people, for example, then 5 times 4 would be 20 seconds, so each person could stay on there for 4 seconds. And so there you go. That's how you add motion to a large image.